questions for you. Ma'am, how can we involve patients more in diagnostic process to improve the outcomes?
I really love your question, first of all, and we are patient centric, and that is what is important. First and foremost, when the doctor writes a test for the patient, he must tell him what it involves. Does he need to come fasting or not? Today, we avoid any fasting sample so that any time that the patient has come to the doctor, they can come to the lab immediately. But there are some needs. Some drugs have to be estimated right before taking the next dose, so that has to be timed. Some tests and the very process of taking a sample is a bit traumatic for every patient. Looking at a needle, no one likes it. They have the jitters. So starting from making them comfortable, letting them know that this is the prick, this is the test we're going to do. Is there any other test that has been left out? Do you think you want something more, or do you want to talk to your doctor again before you come for your test? Do you think something was done too long ago and he's basing his decision on that? Or maybe the date is not there on your report. Just make sure that the patient is in sync with what the doctor has asked of him, and then make him comfortable. That's the most important. And then give him the report in time.
What strategies can healthcare providers use to communicate diagnostic uncertainty to patients effectively?
So what we need to do at that point of time is telling them percentages. You're 30% likely to have this and 40% likely to have that. Doesn't make sense to them. So you have to sit them down and say, okay, now this is the test that has come, this is the result, and sometimes it can mean this. For this, what you need to do. So don't just scare him. Just tell him that for this, what you need to do is, okay, you need to come again in 20 days or in 15 days or maybe in a month or 3 months and repeat this test. So don't be scared, but be vigilant, be aware of what you need next, and be there on time. Make sure that you're looking after your health. And in the meantime, do 1, 2, 3 steps. This might help, and let's see, maybe just now. And any test, the first time you do it, and if it says a positive, is not always a positive. It needs a repetition. It needs a repetition maybe after a week, maybe after 20 days. It depends upon the test. So there are many conditions. You may be having a slight fever and all your results will be haywire. You can't say that there's something wrong with the patient. No, he's just ill, acutely ill just now. He has just got a viral fever, which will pass in a few days. Get him to repeat those tests after some time. Don't take a decision on that.
What changes can be made in medical education to improve diagnostic reasonings?
Before we go to diagnostic reasonings, we need to educate our youth of how to deal with a patient, the bedside manners. That is a bit taken a backseat these days, and we need to re-implement that. Making the patient comfortable, touching him, holding their hand, giving them a pat on the back, and telling them, no, don't worry, I'm here for you. So that starts there. Second thing that we need to do in medical education is don't just talk about all those old things that have already been done. Yes, they are important because you need to know the history of everything, but also tell them what is happening today, what is new today, how will that impact their treatment of the patient, their interaction with the patient, how can they improve their interaction with the patient, and then what else is possible in the future, in which direction they can go further. They can do research, they can probably whatever else they may want to do, and just move forward also. But they must know what was yesterday, what is today, and what is tomorrow. A whole picture, a wholesome picture.
Thank you, ma'am.